G'day, I'm Hannah Maloney from Good Life Permaculture, coming to you from Nipaluna Lutruwita in Hobart, Tasmania. Today I'm going to show you how to make pink pickled eggs, which is a really good way to use up a lot of eggs if you have chickens in your garden in particular. Right now it's spring here and our chooks are delivering so many eggs all the time, so we're just trying to work out how to eat more and more of them or preserve them, and this recipe can be used to help preserve them for a little bit longer depending on what you put in there. The first step is to boil however many eggs that you want to preserve. So here I've got around 8 eggs in here in some water. To get the perfect boiled egg, pop them in the saucepan. I'll get a lid on there, like so. Bring it to the boil, and once it's at the boil, bring it down to a simmer for around 6 to 7 minutes, and that's a nice perfect boiled egg. While those eggs are cooking, I'm going to do the next step of the process, which is to work out how we can make the eggs pink. I'm going to use some beetroot, and this beetroot's a bit soft, but that's okay, so we can chop it up. I'm going to slice it up and put it into a saucepan of water, like I've already started doing this one over here. And I'm going to cook that, and as you cook, the colour comes out and it makes a beautiful, rich pink colour. So I'm going to cut this extra one up as well. So I'm going to let those two things cook. So the beetroot's ready when it's soft to eat. And what I do is I'll strain the beetroot out and use the beetroot in a meal. I have it for dinner tonight. And the water, the pink water, will be used for the next process. The eggs have all finished boiling now, but the beetroot still needs a bit of time, so I'm going to let that cook. But in the meantime, I'm going to come over to the sink and drain off the boiling hot water. And then we're going to fill it up with just nice cold water, like so. And that helps shock the egg out of its shell. Well, not exactly out of its shell, but it helps it retract a little bit, so technically it's meant to be easier. I find it only works if it's the eggs are a bit older, so fresh eggs are a bit harder. For some reason they're harder to peel. And you'll see that we had a bit of a blowout with one of the eggs. Doesn't matter, she'll be right, this looks a bit funny. So next is we start peeling them. Yeah. Okay, time for the next stage. I have taken the cooked beetroot out of the saucepan and I've left all the pink water in there. And now I've got some vinegar and sugar. They're two preserving agents I'm going to put in there. And I'm going to put it in. I'm not going to make it very strong because these eggs are going to live in the fridge. But the stronger you make it with vinegar and sugar, the longer it can be preserved for. I'm just going to pop a bit of vinegar in, like so. And then I've got some sugar. I don't know, you know, you're all going to ask how much to put in. And I'm just going to say, oh, you know, just a little bit. Sorry, not very good with measurements. But as I said before, these are ones that are going to live in the fridge once they're finished, so I'm not too worried about it being perfectly preserved outside on the shelf. Other things I'm going to put in there as well, I've got some cut onion rings I'm going to put in there to cook, and they'll go nice and soft and tasty. And I thought this one might be nice with some really nice cumin powder in there just for flavour. You can choose whatever flavour you want. I'm putting quite a lot in. It could be curry powder, pepper, herbs, whatever you like. And I'm just going to cook that until the onion has gone really clear, so it's fully cooked. And I'll include the onion and all that spice in the jar with the eggs. So now we've got some beautiful pink liquid with some cooked onions in there, and it smells so delicious. You have to trust me on that. And the next step, so I peeled all the eggs earlier, and I've got a glass jar, which is the preferred vessel of choice. And I've started packing them in there. But as I pack, I'm just going to start putting this liquid in, and with the onions, I put the onions in there. And if you wanted to, you could actually put some of the cooked beetroot as well. I've got a few slices here, I might just pop in. Just makes it taste yummy, but I'm not going to do heaps because I mostly just want eggs. And then start pouring this liquid in. And you need to make sure that the liquid covers all the egg 100%. That's very important. Like so. and I've got a little lid for this, but basically I'm going to leave it like this for around 3 or 4 days and I'll come back to it. And in that time, that pink dye and all the flavour gets absorbed by the whiteness of the egg, and you'll see what happens. So it was a few days later and the eggs have just been hanging out in the fridge, and you can see through the glass how they're already getting nice and pink. So we're going to take them out and chop them in half and see what they look like. You'll notice that the onion is also beautifully pink as well, and that's delicious. So that's really yummy stuff as well. So you eat that in your salads or on the side of something. It's really lovely. So that one's a bit broken. That's all right. It's still going to taste good. And you can see some's a bit darker, some's a bit lighter. I think that's the bit that's touching the glass. Again, doesn't matter at all. So, the moment of truth. Oh, look how pretty they are. So, it's gorgeously pink, and if I left it in there for longer, it'd get even darker as well. So you can choose. That's around that is 3 days. Yeah, so they've been in there for 3 days. Oh, look at that one. It's even darker again. I think it's sort of thinner white bit. So pretty. And then what I usually do, I usually include them in a salad. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. And you can include some of the onion in there as well. Look, presentation is not my strong point. I have to admit. But it doesn't matter, it tastes good, and you know, like, it still looks, that pink bit looks really great, you have to admit. So in summary, I guess this is a really cool way to preserve your harvester for that little bit longer. So that I keep it in the fridge because I don't use a lot of vinegar and sugar, but the more you use, the stronger it is, the longer it will keep on your shelf as well. Enjoy!